If you watched my last video, you will know that I recently went to the Middle East to visit friends and family in Bahrain. We spent 5 days there, and in that time we literally drove all over the kingdom sightseeing and taking photographs on black and white film. We saw some amazing places, craft works and even a beautiful theatre. But one thing I was really excited about, taking photographs of people and everyday life. Being in a different country, I didn't quite know what to expect when taking photographs on the streets. Apparently it is allowed, but as always, be courteous and respectful. Luckily I had my friend with me who could easily translate any requests. What I didn't expect was how the locals were so happy for me to take their photographs, and even some approached and asked me to take theirs. This is easy street portraiture. Stick around and I'll show you all around these market areas. Hopefully I'll do a little bit of street photography using a Nikon FM3A. I've got a 28mm lens and a 50mm lens as well, but I reckon I'm probably more than likely going to use the 50mm and see how I get on. That's my favourite sort of lens for that kind of work. But if I can get close, I might start using the 28mm, but we'll see. I'll see you at the Soukes. It's really hot, man. I love this place. So I've come out today with the Nikon FM3A, and inside here I've got a roll of Acros 100 film. I'm not quite sure with the Acros 100, it's not a film that I use often, so I'm wondering to myself, is it going to be a bit contrasty for this? But I'm just going to shoot it at 100 and develop normally and see what happens. Oh, I just got something dripped on me from up there, right on my camera. And just develop normally and see what happens. So I've come down these Soukes. One thing I've noticed about this place is people aren't jumping on you to come in. You know, they're offering you and saying, would you like, but they're not coming and grabbing me and trying to pull me everywhere, which is really quite nice. But around here it's very old, lots of people trading, lots of people doing street trading, and it's a fantastic opportunity for photographs. And I think black and white is going to suit this place really well. So let's see what we can get. Just gotta wait.
Did you get the gun?
Yeah.
Good.
We stumbled across this little tiny coffee shop, and it was awesome for photography. The locals just sitting there chilling out and drinking tea and coffee, and my friend translated anything I wanted to ask. So I asked a couple of people if I could take their photographs, and all of a sudden they all wanted a photo. I was in street heaven. That was fantastic. Those guys were in that coffee shop just all chilling out, having a cup of tea and having a cup of coffee, and I asked permission if I could take a photograph of one of them, and then they all wanted a photograph. They were saying, come take a photograph of me. Oh shit, that was all, oh. Cut. I tripped on the step. Anyway, I'll show you the photographs. So I've also got Jess with me. Jess, what do you think of the place?
I love it. I don't want to go home. Honestly,
people around there, they're always joking. They're always joking. Thank you, mate. What do you think of it, Jess?
No, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's like double photography.
I could have literally spent hours and a lot of film taking photographs around these streets. There was so much that fascinated me, and even watching this video back, there was so many photographs that I'd missed. So I had time for a few more photographs, and as we walked back to the car, this guy came out of his shop and asked me to take his photograph, where he was sporting a peace sign. And as we walked past another restaurant, I noticed this old guy on his own. Apparently he was a traditional Bahrain man, and like many others, he was only too happy for me to take his photograph. But we didn't have long there, as we were heading off into the desert where we was going to meet some guys training their Falcons. Now this, I was really looking forward to. It was great, it was his eyes. Oh yeah, blue eyes. So kind, isn't
We are in Haji restaurant, okay? The oldest restaurant in Bahrain, which is serving traditional Bahraini food. Now we are having majbous laham, okay, and biryani dajaj. Chicken, oh sorry, biryani chicken,
lamb biryani.
Lamb, okay, lamb biryani, majbous and chicken biryani.
Wow.
Okay.
So I didn't know we was going into the desert, and that was a big surprise for me. And I left all my vlogging gear and camera in my friend's house, but luckily enough he had his Nikon F6 in the car with a roll of Kodak T-Max 400. A 400 speed film in bright sun, awesome. That means I can get faster shutter speeds with the Falcons. So this was a complete different photographic experience, trying to get some compositions and tell a bit of the story at the same time on something I'd never seen before. And again, I found myself torn between watching the action and taking photographs. So I took a few snaps of the guys training their Falcons and done the rest of the film inside the camera, and left the rest of my eyes to focus on the experience instead of the lens. Next up was something I really wanted to see, the Tree of Life. Basically a 300 or so year old tree that is still alive in the desert. And as we pulled up, we were lucky to see these young lads riding camels and horses. These lads were so kind, they stopped for us to take photographs and stroke the camels. a camel, guys. And they're not as vicious as cows.
No, cows are more scarier, aren't they?
I must get a picture of that horse and that boy, that looks so cool. Okay, can I get a photo? So far this trip has truly been an amazing experience, but to end part 2 there's one thing that I really need to do, and that is to make a couple of prints of what I think are my most memorable photographs so far. So I'm back in my darkroom now, not quite as big as my mate's darkroom. If you didn't see the first video, I'll quickly show you his darkroom, absolutely amazing. So what an amazing darkroom my mate had. It was absolutely massive, and to be honest with you, I was quite lost in there. In here I know where everything is by touch and feel, I can feel where everything is. In there I was kind of lost, so like even developing film, I was like, where's this, where's that, and it felt really strange, and using a new enlarger as well. But we did a couple of prints which he's got, I didn't bring them back home. What an experience that was, seeing all the camels in the desert, seeing the Tree of Life, and those Soukes, I absolutely loved walking around. I could have spent ages around those marketplaces just taking photographs of people and just sucking in street life in Bahrain. But we didn't have the time, so you know, I took as many photographs as I could. I think I shot a couple of rolls of the Fuji Acros, and then we headed off to a different location. So I only had 5 days there, and in that time, it's really difficult to try and go to a new location all of a sudden, because you're on holiday, you're in a buzzing mode, you've got your family with you, you're trying to vlog, and you want to take pictures as well. But paramount, more importantly, you want to enjoy yourself and experience it through your own eyes without through a lens, you know. So really I could have done with a few hours around those Soukes, just chilling out and just taking my time. There were so many photographs I missed when I watched the video back, but you know, hey ho, it is what it is. It was a short holiday stay for us, and we really enjoyed ourselves. The thing is, coming back with so many rolls of film, you can see the negatives here. This is the 35mm stuff, not even the 120 stuff. All these, I've got about 8 sleeves there full of negatives, and sometimes you come back and all that developing, I don't get bored developing, but when I've got that much developing to do, it starts to get a little bit boring, you know, and you just think to yourself, do you know what, it'd be quite nice to have had a digital camera and shot a lot off as well on digital and film. So maybe some of the special stuff on film, and maybe some of the other stuff on digital where I could just race around and get other shots, but I will shoot you film. There he is. Simple print to make. 10 seconds overall, just 5 seconds on his face, and I covered for the remaining 5 seconds, and that's brought his gutter out, and also the throbe as well that he's wearing. What an interesting character. His eyes were just gorgeous eyes. I bet he was a real handsome man when he was younger. Still is, even in his elderly age. So great fun in the darkroom. I've been in here a few hours now making a few of the prints. I'll show you some of those prints now, and then I'll close the vlog down, guys, because I'm absolutely knackered. And there's the last part of my adventures in Bahrain where I go to an air show, which was absolutely fantastic. And also I went around our hotel, which was not much there, trying to find some compositions. So if that gives anyone inspirations to try and find some photographs in places where you wouldn't ordinarily see anything to take a photograph of, that'll be coming up in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'll leave you with the prints. Don't forget to smash the like button and all that stuff. It really helps me out. I'll catch you next time.